guys, if you've ever downloaded a digital template and thought, now what? You're in the right place. In today's video, I'm going to walk you through the exact process for printing, taping, tracing, and cutting out a design using a jigsaw. Now, I know that if you've never used a power tool before, it can feel a little intimidating. Trust me, so many women in our community have felt the same exact way. Matter of fact, when I had never used a jigsaw before, I ran to my dad and was like, show me how, please. And I did it with his guidance along the way. So let me be your guide through this process. Here's the thing. After cutting out your very first piece, they always say how empowered and accomplished they feel. I remember that feeling. I was like, I am woman, hear me roar. I can do anything. Once you try it, you'll realize that it's not as scary as it seems. And before you know it, you'll be creating door hangers left and right. And the best part, once you learn this process, you're going to use it over and over again for any digital template that you download. Whether you're making seasonal decor, gifts, or even selling your creations, this method works every single time. And with over 1,000 templates to choose from in our shop, you'll never run out of fun designs to create. For today's demo, I'm going to walk you through using our Magnolia Welcome design. We originally taught this back in 2021 in our spring workshop. We've never released this tutorial publicly before, so you're getting an exclusive look. If you love learning projects like this, be sure to keep an eye out. Our next spring workshop opens for signups on March 24th of 2025, and we'll walk you through another beautiful design just like this. All right, let's get started. I'll show you step by step how to take a digital template and turn it into a beautiful wooden door hanger. You've got this. So once you've printed out your template, it's going to look like this. This is pretty much just for you to use as reference. You can just set that to the side. You're going to lay your template out exactly in order of how it printed out from the printer. So just like that. Now you can use tape. I prefer to use my shipping tape to tape together. So I like to start, let's say I'm going to start along this line here. I'm going to pick up that part with the tape, and now I'm just going to align it as best I can. I'm overlapping about 1/8 of an inch or so, not much at all, and then I'm just going to seal the tape down. So there we go. We've got the bottom two pieces together. Now I'm going to set this to the side so I've got some more room, and I'm going to tape together the top two pieces. You can use just regular tape. You don't have to use shipping tape. I just like the shipping tape. Okay, overlap it just enough. You're going to have to make sure your words align. I'm overlapping it about 1/8 of an inch. Smooth it down. Now I can bring this piece back up here. Now you're going to make sure your top and your bottom align on each side. There we go. Looks good. Let that fall. Now I'm just going to put one more piece across here. Couldn't get a hold of the tape. And now you can just take some scissors and cut out around the outer edge. Okay, now that we have it all cut out, it's time to go place it on our wood using some graphite paper and cut it out using a jigsaw or a scroll saw. Okay, you guys, we ready? You don't need the graphite part just yet. You do need your jigsaw and a mouse sander. I've got Revolution plywood. This is from Lowe's. I laid my template out on here. I wanted to kind of like, maximize how much of the extra wood that I could use. So I got it as close to the edge as possible. And then I just took an ink pen. You could also use a pencil. And I traced around the outer edge. And now I've got my shape on here. You guys probably can't see it, but it's on there. Next, you're gonna take your jigsaw. I'm using a scrolling blade. See how narrow that is? It's got lots of little teeth. This is 20 TPI or tips per inch. And this is just a standard like Skill brand jigsaw, okay? Go ahead and cut it out. I'm gonna try to stop and give tips along the way, okay? So I'm gonna just start at the edge. Actually, I'll start right here where this little point meets the edge of the wood. Now, I like to look at my blade and see where it is on the design as I push the jigsaw forward. Now, when we come up to an edge, we're gonna start turning. And then when we meet this area here, this is a little turn point. So you'll notice me kind of slow down just a bit and then speed up as I go around the turn. So if you need to, stop when you get to the corner, wiggle it back just a little bit, and then start forward again as you're turning. Another corner, you can wiggle back just a little bit. Now we're going to turn the other direction. Now we're to the part where all the leaves are. This is where it's going to get a little bit tricky, but I don't want you to give up, okay? Just try to go as slow as you can. I have mine actually set to the fastest speed. I feel like it works best that way, but when I say go slow, I mean like stop if you need to, back up, reposition, whatever you need to do, and just keep on going. You see this little hole that I created? I went backwards on purpose because I need to make this turn. I needed to go right here. Well, that's like a right angle. That can be kind of difficult with a jigsaw. So I backed up and then I swooped out because this is just wasted wood out here. We're not going to be using this. So we can cut that up as much as we want. So I swooped out and now I'm able to get a better angle at going back on that leaf. If you guys notice, I made a lot of those in and out turns without even stopping. That's because I've been doing this a long time and I'm pretty used to it. Also, because my scrolling blade is so narrow, I'm able to just wiggle in and out of those little turns. So if you're working with a really wide blade, you may have trouble with this. So get the narrow scrolling blades that are made for cutting wood. Okay, I've got most of it cut out, but not all. I'm actually, like, it's getting very awkward working at that angle, so I'm gonna stop and go back to where I started, and now I'm gonna come up and meet where I stopped up here. I gotta get it on it as much support as I can because this part right here is very loose, so you wanna put like the sawhorses underneath that part to provide lots of stability. Now we have our piece all cut out. What we need to do now is sand off those rough edges. Look up close. See how this is kind of rough right along in here? It's a little bit rough on the back too. So we're gonna get some, a sander. My sanding pad's pretty rough shape, but this is 80 grit sandpaper using a mouse or octo scrolling, or not scrolling, sander from Skill Saws, the Skill brand. I don't know what I'm talking about, guys. It's a mouse sander, 80 grit paper. Let's go. We're gonna sand in a downward rotating motion all the way around. See how much better that looks? Nice and smooth. Okay, much better, much smoother edges. Now, since this is jigsaw cut, we are gonna wanna paint those raw edges, but this looks much better. In the next video, we're gonna be using graphite paper to transfer the rest of the design to the wood, and we're gonna be painting our first coat. And there you have it, your complete guide to using and transferring digital templates. I hope this video gave you the confidence to grab a jigsaw and try it for yourself. I know it can feel a little scary at first, but once you cut your first piece, you'll be so proud of yourself, even if you do have a couple of splinters and maybe a few rough spots. Don't worry, paint will cover that. Now that your Magnolia welcome door here is cut and ready, it's time for the fun part, painting. Next week's video will be a full step-by-step painting tutorial where I'll teach you how to create a shiplap background, paint magnolia flowers, and add simple lettering to finish it off beautifully. So be sure to subscribe and turn on the notifications so you don't miss it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time for the painting tutorial.